In this video, I'm going to tell you about our day at the camp. We brought all our gear, which we're going to set up, and I will show you every step of what we use and how we use it. So hopefully you will enjoy it. This is the day before we're leaving for our camping trip. I thought I will share with you and show you what are we packing. I quickly open each of these boxes just to show you what are the contents and how we organize them. And then I'm going to load them into the van, show you what the van looks like. And when we arrive at the campsite, we start unloading and you will see how we're using all of that stuff. First of all, let's start with the bed. So you would see what the van is like when it's pretty much resting, waiting for us to go camping in the garage. And then all that gear stored on the shelves next to it. I just pulled it out to show it to you. So on the moment notice, we could be in our van and traveling somewhere. That makes it exciting, that makes it less burdensome because everything's already in place. So the bed is completely made under this cover. This is a waterproof bed cover, which is nice to have because it's nice and relatively slippery material. So when I'm loading all these boxes, sometimes they're dirty from the campsite, that bed stays protected. So it's fully made, duvet, pillows, sheets, all already in place. And the first item which I'm going to be loading is going to go right in the middle of the van, and that's our clam shelter, which is packed right here in this long package. So the bag is pretty hefty, and it probably in most of the cases would be easy with two people, but this is why I chose that material, that it's very nice and slippery, so it actually slides in. So as you can see, it takes quite a bit of space. You can still use restroom while on the road, but it all the way butted up to the front center console. Let's quickly look what we are packing. Here in the bag is a tarp for our clam shelter. We'll unpack it at the campsite. We have yellow bricks box, which we use to level the van if driveway to the campsite is not leveled. Yeti, we already talked about it. Right now it's empty. We're also bringing locks for Yeti in case if we're leaving Yeti outside and there are bears. Anyway, we don't want any trouble. It's very easy to lock them, and that's the locks for. These two items are foldable chairs. They're essentially stadium chairs, such that you could attach them to the seat, hard seat on the stadium. Here are the straps. My wife's bag of clothes, she prefers the car organizer. And then we'll open these boxes in a moment. This is a shoe container, a light here for our tent. This is a curtain for the back section of the van. It's a magnetic curtain. We'll assemble it at the campsite. This is our kitchen, one of the kitchen bags. More of the kitchen appliances, jet boil, gas stove. Folding table goes next. On this side, folding chairs, small table. This is the view of packed van from the back. Each time we pack, it's slightly different configuration, depending on what we're bringing. But I reserve this space behind for some of the video gear I'm going to be bringing to the campsite in order to show you how we use all this stuff. But as you could see, there's potentially an option to load significantly more, and there's no trouble worrying about blocking the rear mirror because Sienna has electronic mirrors, so we never run out of space even if we go in for 2 weeks of travel. Yeti is placed next to the sliding door, so this way we could access it during stopovers and get our food, check on the status of temperature inside, because it could be open right here in the van. One of the items which is absolutely indispensable anytime we leave home for more than 100 miles. This is a little trash container. It's typically under the sink. It hangs on our door, and simply remove the bag. The nice thing is that it fits just perfectly here. It doesn't slide, it doesn't rock, could be moved a little back and forth, but it's absolutely perfect. When you eat in the car or snack in the car, the trash, anything, napkins, goes there. We also use it at the campsite. Well, departing for the trip, 2 days trip, what do we bring in terms of food? Homemade bread, apples to snack in the car, nuts, assortment. These are our breakfast bowls for tomorrow. It's a typically grain, fruit, salads for this lunch. Today, some snacks of yogurt, herring, cooked eggs, avocado, preserve. So this is going to be more than plenty for the trip. This is a relatively short trip, and we want to bring what we actually eat at home. So I'm going to transfer it now into the Yeti. So all of the food packed to Yeti. Frozen ice packs at the bottom, keeping it cool. And a set of ice packs here in the freezer. This freezer could be set to very low temperatures, all the way to 0 degrees. In 24 hours, melted ice packs from the Yeti will be transferred here, and these will be placed in the Yeti with food. We just arrived. This is the campground next to the Pacific Ocean on Sonoma coast, literally quarter of the mile. We just went for a nice walk. So we'll start with unloading the van first in the staging area there on the grass, and then we'll set up our clam shelter first, and then set everything up inside of the clam shelter. So let's start. So we have these NISAC chairs. They fold flat like this, or they fold to different levels, depending what you want, and then unfold again. It's fairly standard for these types of chairs. So what we do, we place them such that it grabs across under the chair. It's not the most stable chair, but once you balance it properly, it becomes, here we have a little bit of a lumpy side here for the tent, but I have hand support, it's soft, and it's warm. When you're at the camp and it's cold, this soft area and protected back works exceptionally well. So one is ready to go. We're using this large tarp. I think it's 11 by 18 dimension, and these are the rivets which allow the tent to kind of be always in the same positions. We're at the campsite, and we're continuing charging Jackery. The gas engine is actually off, and you see the charge is going on. So we're at 98%, and now we're consuming power by electrical kettle, heating up water for us. When the gas engine will turn on again, it will stay only for about 5 minutes, and it is very quiet. I'll wait for the gas engine to come on so I could come very close to the front of the car, you can hear what it's like. I'm walking towards the front of the car. The engine just came on, 3 feet away from the car. How does it sound? Now I'm 20 feet away from the van. It's still on. Gas engine is on. How does it sound? I think it's perfectly acceptable in even our neighbors who are pretty far, good 50 feet away, the next tent, and we don't even have a neighbor here. So I think it's going to be fine, and so far nobody ever complained about gas engine being on for very short periods of time. Well, our lunch is ready. We're having today our salad. It's a homemade salad. For many years we enjoyed all the standard foods, meat and bacon, butter, ton of eggs, though I still eat some eggs. But as we gotten older, we switched our diet to mostly vegetarian, though we eat some fish. And I do eat some eggs. We also eat yogurt, so we're not truly vegetarian. But this salad contains carrots, sweet potato, cauliflower, peppers, onions, avocado, green peas, and mung beans. Mung beans serves as a source of protein, incredibly delicious, and our gut is perfectly adjusted to it. So as a result, this is the food we crave now. I want to share one trick with you guys. This is great tent, we love it. But what happens, the wind which comes freely through the mesh sometimes creates kind of turbulence, or the top starting to act as a sail. And what happens, if the gust of wind is coming, it's collapsing like this. And when it's collapsing like this, it's kind of unsettling. So to prevent this in the windy weather, I came up with the trick. This is the extension pole for painting or for cleaning windows, and by placing it in the center, extending it, very stable. And we actually had an instance like this at the ocean where winds came right, and we were right on the cliff of the ocean, and the whole tent started to flutter all over the place. The roof collapsed. Our stakes held it in place, but next time we brought this pole, and now we're carrying it with us. I'm using a level meter to see if the van is leveled on the driveway, and looks like we're okay front to rear, but we probably need at least one block on the driver's side. So that's what I'm going to do and see what the level it looks like. Well, this is not perfect, but I think that's the best could be done in circumstances. Well, we're going to install a privacy curtain. Privacy curtain is something which we use at the campsite, and it is a curtain which I modified with magnets. There's a bunch of permanent magnets attached to rivets at some distance, and the way I designed it, I'm always looking, there's so many of them, and I'll show you how they work. But in the middle of it, there are two which are very close to each other, and these two will go first. They will go right here. We have a curtain which could be opened. You enter inside, and as you know, we have toilet there, and then it becomes completely private. So when you're surrounded by neighbors, don't want them to see that you go in there and you pull in your pants down. This is the curtain. Well, as evening approaching, we're going to test this little thing, which is a gift from our son last Christmas. And it is a rechargeable light. So you're pressing on it, and this is one of the modes. You press it again, turns off. If you're holding, it starts changing colors. So it goes through different color modes. As you see, it's a combination of colors.
So whatever we're going to choose something warmer, maybe something like that, and we hang it here. So when it's dark, this is going to provide sufficient illumination, hopefully, when it's going to get dark. So we're going to test it tonight. This is something which I've shown you before in previous videos, but we're continuing using the same design. These are screen protectors for the windows, for ventilation. Essentially, this is covers for gutters, roof gutters. The crosshatch here is fairly large, so what I did, I added much finer mesh, 2 millimeters or 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter by 1.5 millimeter. So stops even the smallest bugs. And then there is a groove here where the window edge slides, and then I lift it until it engages into the groove like a standard window engages. So I'll show you how I'm doing it right now. So it goes here in the groove because it's flexible. You could flex it a little bit, so there's perfect fit, ready to go. And then I'm pulsing, kind of gently pulsing, not to overdo it, until it completely engages. And see, now it's, of course, not 100% secure in terms of thievery or anything like this, but hopefully nothing like this happens in civilized campgrounds. That's been working for us exceptionally well, exactly the same way on the other side. Here's a look at the mesh from inside of the van. You could actually see through it, and it provides plenty of ventilation for us. Well, it's dusk outside. We planning to settle inside of our van. Just a quick look at the light. I think it's going to be sufficient to operate within the tent after full dark, but it's not terribly bright. Let me see if I could turn it on to completely white and what it looks like. This is full brightness option, and I think that's going to work well. Next morning, it's time to talk about cleanup of the toilet and what's involved. So first of all, we disconnecting the toilet cover, and now it comes off, and we're just taking it like this. I'm inverting it, putting it on the side here, and you see there a bag, and there are contents in the bag. So a bungee cord holds this bag attached to the toilet sink or toilet bowl. It's a special sanitary bag available from many different suppliers, and it's ready to be disposed. There is some condensation here on the top, but condensation means it's just water evaporated from the content of the container inside. And as you could see, this is a milk pail container, 5-liter milk pail, and it's 3/4 of the way, a little more full. So I will be disposing it in the toilet or local restroom. Now we're going to replace this bag. The way it's retained here, it's retained by this kind of cord which was taped in. It's a bungee cord. I taped in with self-sealing silicone tape, so it creates something for the bungee cord to grab to. I will refer to this one as a ball bungee cord. It's just absolutely indispensable in the garage and during camping. You could strap with it almost anything. They come in different lengths. I'll attach a link in the description. I cannot recommend it more than anything else I worked with. This is just marvel of invention. The bag is ready for next duty. So the stainless steel container is empty, placing it inside, and this goes in kind of reverse order. The back lip catches the cutout here. See a little bit of this lip got cut out from the Yeti bucket, and that allows for these wings to latch in here. And it's cut on the angle, as you could see, cut on the angle. And that allows to catch the top here so it doesn't slide out on the pull from the front. So I'm insert this whisker, I call it, and then catch with the nozzle the lip of the stainless steel bucket. And you kind of do it by sound. Okay, you hear the sound, metallic sound, and then it's in place. And you could look from the top and the reflection of stainless steel bottom of the container actually shines back, so you can make sure it's all engaged. But nothing happens because anything spilled, which never happens so far, is going to be retained in this main container, which could be easily removed and cleaned when necessary right there at the campsite. And that's it. Pretty much we're done. Just drop off this in the local garbage and we're ready for the next day. While reheating food this way is maybe not as convenient as in microwave, large microwave, it's still faster than cooking from scratch oatmeal or something like this, because instant oatmeal is not something which we like, but still cut oatmeal needs to be soaked overnight before cooking. This way, as you see, it's already coming to boil, and we'll transfer it in our plate and we're ready to eat. Well, we're ready for breakfast on this cold, somewhat windy, overcast day. But any camping experience has its own challenges, and in part that's why we come, because we never know what's going to happen, and you need to come up with solutions and adjustments and attitudes sometimes. And I still love doing this after many years, doing it in all kinds of ways, from hiking with a backpack and camping, sleeping on the ground. Now we're doing it in a much more comfortable way.
Just to quickly show you what is also permanently resides in the van is under the refrigerator. Of course, there's jackery, which we already talked about in a separate video, but this is a first aid kit, very easily accessible here. I use the bungee cord straps to suspend the first medicine box, and works pretty well because it stays taut but very easily removable and accessible. So the other item which is under this area is little toiletry bag, cleansing wipes and so forth. This is mostly my wife's domain, so it's tucked in and lives there out of the way. The refrigerator slides nicely. We all packed back. Everything's clean at the campsite. The gear is all in the van, and we're ready to go. We're going to take a look at the flowers on the way again, because it's a sunny day, maybe better shots. Flowers next to the oceans are absolutely incredible. It's quite windy, but the view is absolutely spectacular. It's just mesmerizing. You just standing here and in awe at both the power, the severity, and the beauty of this incredible place. That's why we're coming here around end of April, beginning of May, to witness celebration of vigor, tenacity, perseverance, all the life attributes which we see in flowers and grasses, and also striving to find it within us. So that's in part what camping is all about. In addition to all the gear, all the sort of little bit of a stress, but positive stress, which stimulates our brains, stimulates our minds. I would like to end on this point and say thank you for watching. It's great to communicate with you, read your comments. Until next time, see you in the next video. Cheers.